In our final module, we're going to talk about creating and managing contacts as well as distribution groups. Now, these contacts are specific to external contacts, and we have a few different types of distribution groups. Now, distribution groups allow users to send email messages to a single address, and all of the members that are part of that distribution group will receive that email. So in this module, we're going to take a look at how we can work with these external contacts, how we create them, and the information that's associated with these contacts, and we're going to look at a few different types of distribution groups. So let's begin with external contacts. This allows us to add people with external email address to our internal address book. Now, an internal address book is anything that's associated with your organization. For instance, if my microtechpoint.com is my tenant name and I'm trying to communicate with someone at microsoft.com, that's an external contact. And I may want to add that user as part of my internal address book so I can communicate with them easily. And as you can imagine, these are managed through the EAC, and of course, we can use PowerShell. I don't even list it anymore because everything we do with the EAC, we can obviously use PowerShell. And we'll explore how to create a contact when we go out to our demo. And now on to distribution groups. Remember, this is just a list of users I can blast an email message to, and everyone within that distribution list is going to receive that message. We have a few different types of distribution groups that we're going to be looking at. The first is a distribution group. This can also be referred to as a distribution list. It's a type of group that allows you to distribute messages to a group of users. We have a mail-enabled security group, and you may just see this as a security group. It also allows you to distribute message to groups of users, but we can also use this to assign permissions to resources. The dynamic distribution group is our third one, and what this does, it creates a list of recipients, and these recipients are calculated each time a message is sent. So we're not just adding members into this list. The members of this list are added based on group settings and conditions. So that's why it's called dynamic, because you never know who's going to be in there. And these group settings and conditions are based on recipient type and rule-based. And more about the dynamic distribution groups, specifically the recipient type, we have a few different options to choose from. The first being users with Exchange mailboxes, mail users with external email addresses, resource mailboxes, mail contacts with external email addresses, mail-enabled groups. So those are 5 recipient types that we can choose or that will be used to determine who belongs in a dynamic distribution group. Rule-based, we can take a look at the state or province, the company, and then we have up to 15 custom attributes that we can use to decide who belongs or gets populated in that dynamic distribution group. And of course, we have PowerShell, and we have 3 commands that we're going to focus on here. The first being the verb-mail contact, and that verb can be swapped out with the new, set, or get. We have the distribution group, which also has a verb replacement for new, set, and get. And lastly, we have the verb-dynamic distribution group, which also, you guessed it, new, get, and set. And as a reminder, new means we're going to create a new mail contact or a new distribution group. A set means we're going to supply some parameters to change the properties of that contact or group. And then a get is going to retrieve information about that contact or group.